My name is Aasees Kaur, and this is my persuasive speech. Campus sexual assault and rape has become a nationwide issue on college campuses, and most colleges, as our own, are plagued by this issue. Colleges nowadays are using educational programming to inform their students on how to be prepared and informed about this issue. Unfortunately for us, most colleges, and including our own, have programming that's geared towards women and leaves out men in terms of dialogue, conversation, and leaves men with the disadvantage of being ill-prepared and uninformed in these situations. As Emma Watson said in her UN speech in 2014, how can we affect change in the world when only half of it is invited or feels welcome to participate in the conversation? It's not that men don't want to be informed and prepared in situations of sexual assault and rape. It's just that the educational programs are geared towards women and the dialogue is strictly specific to women. So since there is such a lack of educational programming at Wake Forest and many colleges for men to learn about sexual assault and rape prevention, programs specifically for men and also an increase in co-ed programming will in turn increase more students who are informed and prepared in these situations. So the problem here is twofold. One is that there's a large prevalence of sexual assault on college campuses, including Wake Forest. And so, according to the National Sexual Violence Research Center in 2015, 1 in 5 women will be sexually assaulted in college. And in Wake Forest, it was reported in 2014 by the Wake Forest University Crime and Fire Report that there were 5 reported rapes and 5 reports of fondling on the Wake Forest campus. So a very recent and a very prominent issue both on our campus and in general. So the second part of the problem is that sexual assault education is basically just for women. It's teaching women how to prevent rape and sexual assault, and it's not teaching men how they can both aid and prevent these situations. So the dialogue here is stated in the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network website in 2009. It says, "Be careful about posting your location. Stick with your friends," says West Virginia University in 2016, and "be aware of your surroundings," says our own Wake Forest University in the Wake Forest Crime and Fire Report in 2014. All 3 of these sentences illustrate how the dialogue is strictly for women. All 3 of these sentences are strictly how women can prevent rape, but it doesn't help men help women. In addition to the dialogue, we have educational programs implemented at Wake Forest, but again, they're not helping men help women. So there's PREPARE, which is Policy Group on Rape Education, Prevention, and Response. And according to the PREPARE website on the Wake Forest website, it says that they conduct sexual assault awareness and prevention programs for all incoming first-year students. And in addition to this programming, they also conduct the Sexual Assault Awareness Week and also help students become facilitators with response to sexual assault. In addition to PREPARE, which is both for men and women, there is RAD, which is the Rape Aggression Defense course, which is strictly just for women on how to prevent rape physically. And then also rape prevention education is also discussed in our HES 100 classes, such as dating violence and sexual assault and things like that. So this problem is big. It leaves out half of our population here at Wake Forest, but the solution is very simple. All we have to do is create more all-male programming for sexual assault and rape prevention. And this includes in our sports teams, in our male club sports, and in our fraternities, as well as all other mostly male-dominant social groups on campus. And so the way to do this is by creating a position in each of these groups, like how there is a president and a vice president and a social chair, creating a position in which a member is elected or applies to organize and execute a program each semester to educate, inform, and answer questions about rape and sexual assault to their peers. In addition to that, the programming should be monitored and funded by Wake Forest to show that the university is involved in this initiative as well. Additionally, PREPARE should get more funding, as well as they do help foster an environment in which rape and sexual assault is not acceptable on our campus. So there have been many similar programs, such as the one I said before. One is Binghamton University. Two students in 2009 created this three-tiered peer education approach for sexual assault, in which the three tiers were empathy-based, awareness-based, which is teaching consent and sexual assault, and the bystander program. And the students found that after the pilot program, 55.6% of participants would alter their behavior if their behavior at all was questionable to begin with. And also, according to Danielle Paquette of the Washington Post in 2014, University of Maryland also has a fraternity brother named Ian Tolano, who named himself the Consent Bro, in which before the chapter he would answer questions about consent and sexual assault and inform his fraternity brothers about the right thing to do in those situations. Additionally, a study was done back in 1997 about the effects of sexual assault peer education program on men's belief in rape myths, and it found that after a all-male peer educational program, immediately after and 2 months after, the majority of the population decreased the likelihood of being sexually corrosive, which is extremely important to prevent and lower sexual assault on our campuses. So, while this is a very viable solution, there are going to be counter-arguments, and one of the biggest ones is that there won't be enough funding. However, since these initiatives will help make Wake Forest a safer place for students, alumni, and parents will be inclined to donate to these kinds of programs. So just to conclude, allowing more all-male programming and to increase our current programming will help make our sexual assault and rape prevention education more inclusive, leaving our students more informed and prepared, and leaving Wake Forest a safer campus.